Oh, there we
recording.
go.
Good morning, Tompkinsville.
What's going on, everybody? We are branching off of the Cold Takes podcast that we had, and we're going to make our new one because Tyler and Lincoln didn't have the time that we had to do one. So this one's called Good Morning Tompkinsville podcast. We're going to be releasing an episode on every Saturday morning, and we're going to give you the sports information that's going around the world right now. Not the world, but the United States. We're starting out with the NFL, and that's what we're going to talk mostly about today, along with some NBA with a hiring of Steve Nash and some other things. So, guys, the first thing we're going to talk about is the off-season acquisitions. Etheridge, you want to touch on that a little bit? How about your Eagles? What have they done this off-season?
Well, we started out good by trading for Darius Slay before the draft, which I thought was huge. It's a position we needed. And then we ended up signing traded for Marquise Gooden on draft day, which we'll get to him later after he did something stupid. Safe, but stupid. It's whatever. I'm not there. We signed Trevor Williams. We cut him, and we signed him back again and cut him again today. So I don't know what they're thinking on that. Then we signed Javon Hargraves, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. I think he's going to be huge on the D-line. And then in the draft, of course, we drafted Rager and Hurts. Hurts is just an insurance plan, and Rager could be something if he can stay healthy. That's just the thing with the Eagles is staying healthy.
So they'll pair that defensive tackles with Hargrave and Fletcher Cox, right?
Hargrave, Fletcher Cox. The D-line will be Derek Barnett, Hargraves, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and some younger guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a good year.
The main thing, and I think we can all agree on for the Eagles, was that they were going to address the secondary, and getting Slay was probably the best thing they could do in the offseason.
Getting Slay and Will Parks. Will Parks. We let Malcolm Jenkins go, of course, contract dispute, but we signed Will Parks. We're moving Jalen Mills to safety, and we still got Rodney McLeod. So our secondary should be better. I'm not going to say it's going to be great by any means, but it should be a better year.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Tucker, how about the Titans? What have they done?
The big move for the Titans was signing Ryan Tannehill to a pretty decent deal. I don't know if it was the right move.
I'm not, in my opinion.
I'm not that huge on Tannehill at all, but he did get the job done last year. Took us to an AFC championship. Well, I would say Derrick Henry did. He helped, I guess.
Yeah.
We signed Vic Beasley, but I don't know what's going on with him because he didn't show up. I don't even know what exactly has happened with him, to be honest. But I thought that would have been a good signing, but I don't even know what's going on.
I thought it was kind of like a contract thing, but I'm not 100% sure with him.
I don't know what he was doing. They didn't even know where he was at or something. Yeah. And the draft I thought was okay. They addressed right tackle and got Isaiah Wilson, who hopefully is okay. I'm not totally sure, but I thought they got a really good pick in the second round when they drafted Christian Fulton, which I thought was a great pick to address secondary.
Stud.
I agree. Pretty much any offensive lineman from the SEC is going to be a good one. And speaking of that, I'm going to jump into the Colts, and they have just re-signed Ryan Kelly, all-pro center from Alabama, to a new 4-year, $50 million contract. That might be too much, but who knows? They also brought in, they traded the 13th overall pick.
Oh, my gosh.
What? We're looking at Ryan Tannehill right here getting sacked by, looks like A.J. Klein there.
And if you read the thing underneath it says Tannehill sucks.
Haters.
I think we can all agree on that. Anyways, so the Colts traded their 13th pick, their number one overall pick, 13th pick, to the 49ers for DeForest Buckner, which will obviously help the defensive line. They really needed that. They also brought in Xavier Rhodes, who was a Pro Bowler in 2017. They drafted Jonathan Taylor to pair with Marlon Mack in the backfield. We'll see how that
could be
goes.
dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will be, but we'll see. I don't know. Well, how long do y'all think it'll be till Taylor starts? Gets the
Week
first
6.
carries of the game.
I don't know.
Week 6.
I don't know.
Week
He hasn't
6.
been doing good in camp, has he?
I mean, I've not heard
That's what
nothing
I saw.
crazy from him. He trucked the safety.
He's been dropped. They said
I mean,
he's been
he's
dropping passes. That's all I
Yeah,
heard.
Yeah.
and Naheem Hines is going to be used more for the pass catching back. I've seen a lot of comparisons with him and Austin Eckler. Obviously, he's not as good as Eckler, but
He's faster than Eckler.
yeah, oh yeah, he's very fast. Taylor probably is too. They're both very fast, and that's something that Marlon Mack's not known for his speed. He's more for his power, third and short. That's when he's going to come in.
The thing about the Colts is that draft is I thought Pittman was just an absolute
Pittman
stud.
was huge.
I think he's
He
an
was
absolute
huge.
stud.
We needed a big body receiver, and that's huge to get him. And I've not heard very many good things about him at camp, to be honest. I've heard that Xavier Rose has been putting him on clamps.
Actually, I heard that him and Phillip Rivers have a really good connection.
And that's another good thing with Phillip. I think no matter who he's around, I feel like he loves the game of football. That's all you hear about is how much he loves football. He's such a gamer, and he's just easy to be around, evidently. Of course, we don't know. But I've heard him and T.Y. have been gelling well, him and Jack Doyle. So,
maybe hands don't.
Next, let's talk about the Buccaneers, I guess. Obviously, the number one talk in the offseason with getting Tom Brady.
I called that. Called that on Cold Takes, by the way.
Also, y'all can go back and listen to that. Also, Tom Brady pulled Rob Gronkowski, out of retirement. And Gronkowski's back to probably being the 12th personnel with him and O.J. Howard, the two tight ends. And obviously the other day they have brought in Leonard Fournette, who was cut by the Jaguars. We'll speak on him a little bit more later. Yeah, we were kind of on me and Etheridge. I don't know about Tucker, but we were kind of on the Ronald Jones bandwagon a little bit. Like we thought he was going to have I still think he's going to be the lead back.
I think he's really good, and they just ain't giving him a shot yet.
I don't know, but I saw Leonard Fournette tweet this morning and said something. It was a GIF of his face on a baby and Tom Brady's face on a baby, and they was running each other and hugging.
He got the Brady part right. He's a freaking baby.
But
I don't know. He must be enjoying it so far.
I mean, that offense is so good. You have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the defense ain't bad either. That's a good team.
That division's going to be really good. Well, it's kind of top heavy. I don't know. Who knows what we're going to get from Atlanta?
There's no idea.
Carolina
6-10, 8-8 for Atlanta in that area, I'd say.
Carolina's definitely the worst team in that division.
And Carolina's not bad. They just have a bad defense.
I agree.
They're not bad.
They addressed that a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit. How they got Derek Brown.
That's like Brian Burns.
He's a really good player out of Auburn. Next, let's talk about the New England Patriots. Obviously, moving on without Tom Brady. What's it been, 20 years since he's been there? I mean, he was there 20 years?
I thought it was 17 or something. It's probably more
something
than
like that. It's close. I know for sure he was a Pro Bowler for 17 straight years or something like that, which is insane. So I think he played a little bit longer than that, but I don't know.
I'd say you're right. Probably about 20.
Obviously, so obviously they're going to have to look for a new quarterback. Say Jarrett Stidham was really the only quarterback on the roster. And so they brought in Cam Newton.
Team captain Cam Newton.
How does this dude come in and get team captain immediately? Like, that's just a question I have. I don't understand that one.
He's an MVP. What else could you want from him? If he's fully healthy, if he's fully healthy, he's a great quarterback. And we've not seen healthy Cam Newton since the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to jump to next. Do you think we'll see the MVP Cam Newton, or will we see the Cam Newton of years past, a couple years ago?
I think we're going to see a healthy Cam Newton because this is Belichick's system, and I mean it's Brady. Got hurt twice in his career there?
Yeah, not much.
And I mean Cam Newton he's a monster when he's healthy, but it's going to be an interesting season because Patriots are going to be good, I think.
And one more thing to take note of is something that Tom Brady didn't have last year that Cam Newton will have this year is David Andrews. Andrews was out all last year with an injury, so that's obviously going to be huge getting one of your starting linemen back. What is it? He play center?
Yeah, but plus Cam Newton's not Tom Brady. He's not going to sit in that pocket
You're
and
right.
get sacked.
You're
He's
right.
going to roll
100%.
out. He can get away from people. Tom couldn't.
Yeah. But now, and that's another thing. What's Belichick and McDaniel's going to do with Cam Newton? Are they going to have a new game plan with him, or are they going to do the same thing with Brady, keep him in the
I'm
pocket,
sure.
throw it real fast?
I mean, they're not going to let him, run option and stuff. But
Right.
why? But they're not going to hold him down to be a pocket passer QB because he's not a pocket passer QB. He's never been one. So why would you
don't
do
want
it
to?
now?
You don't want to let him run wild though and get hurt or something because he could easily get hurt if he just doesn't like.
Yeah, he's not going to run wild, but he's also not going to be a sitting duck either.
Yeah, you're right.
That's how I feel.
And I mean, they have decent weapons around him. I mean, it's James White out of the backfield. Julian Edelman's still there.
So, their running backs are like Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead, Lamar Miller, Damian Harris.
Yeah.
They got like 10 running backs.
So next, the last team. Oh, sorry, was one of y'all gonna say something?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody said something. The last team we'll talk about as far as off-season acquisitions is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the title I've put on here is "What the heck are the Jaguars doing?"
The Jaguars know what they're doing.
So I mean, I've put this, and obviously this was during the was this during the season last year when they got rid of Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, week 6, week 5.
Yeah, within a matter of a calendar year, in less than a calendar year, they have managed to get rid of Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye. They're 2 number 1 corners, 2 top 5, 10 corners in the NFL. That's insane. Yannick Ngakoue.
Monster.
And then get rid of Leonard Fournette. And was getting rid of Nick Foles the right move to y'all?
And Calais Campbell, we can't forget about him.
Calais Campbell, I forgot about him. Wow.
The veteran leader.
He's in Baltimore now, yeah.
I just want to touch on something that Jacksonville, that I don't know how to say his name, Yannick, whatever.
Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, he's a monster, but I don't know how to say his name. But that man took a $6 million pay cut to get traded away.
There must be something wrong with that front office or something.
It's got to be the cons. Are you kidding me? The cons are they're bad luck or something.
No, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I think they went a little crazy, but cutting Foles or getting rid of Foles, that was probably the right move because they know what they're doing this year and they're tanking.
Right. No,
absolutely
no. They have Gardner Minshew to play quarterback, and he's better.
They don't need Gardner Minshew when they can tank.
Listen, they have Minshew, and I wouldn't even mention Minshew. They have Chark and nobody else. Josh Allen on defense. Miles Jack's okay.
Who'd they draft? C.J. Henderson?
Yeah. I mean, he's a rookie.
And just think back to this team. Literally, was in the AFC Championship 3 years ago.
Oh yeah,
they
were a top 3 defense,
and that was Blake Bortles at quarterback.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
And they just destroyed the whole team. They just let them all go.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Telvin Smith? Did he just? I know he sat out last year or whatever.
I feel like he retired.
I guess he's done.
I don't think he's on the team.
I know he quit last year.
He's getting older, so I mean, he was around there. Retire.
He was so fast.
So, Ethers, do you think it was good for them to move on from Foles?
I mean, you just got to think of the quarterbacks.
You have a tie with Foles.
The quarterbacks in this class coming up are unbelievable. Trevor Lawrence, Fields, the kid out of North Dakota State's really good.
Yep.
I forget his name. Where Carson Wentz played.
I'm talking about.
But he's really good.
Yeah,
so I mean,
Trey Lance.
Yeah. So I mean, you got 3 great quarterbacks there, and you have Foles $30 million cap hit. And Minshew, and there. I mean, Foles and that team didn't mesh well together. So I guess it was the right decision to move on.
So then I counter with another question. What if Minshew was to have a good year and he leads them? I don't see much of a ceiling over 7-9.
I mean, if he can win 5 games with that team, you have to keep him around. I think.
I think so too.
If he can win, that team's terrible.
So you think they have a first round? You think they spend a first round pick on a quarterback?
I would take Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields without a doubt if they were
Probably.
there.
If you get those picks, but I'm
Yeah.
saying 5 wins ain't going to get that pick.
No,
Them two are probably going 1 and 2. I'd hate
because
to
the
say
Washington
that.
football team. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
if-
No, but listen,
That's
that's
kind of
what I
weird
was
to say.
thinking.
They're going to win
Because
one
listen,
game probably.
The Washington football team's awful, but they have Dwayne Haskins now. If Dwayne Haskins plays awful, then yeah, you can draft a quarterback.
Which I'm
But if Dwayne
expecting.
Haskins is okay, then they're not going to draft a quarterback. And then who else is bad in the NFL? Who else is going to be bad? The Dolphins. Well, Dolphins will be okay, maybe.
I don't know. The Dolphins.
They're not going to draft a quarterback. The Bengals, if they're bad, they're not going to draft a quarterback.
No.
Who else is a really bad team? I mean, you got to think one of them two is definitely going to be there, probably, because the Jaguars are going to be awful. So they probably will get Fields or Lawrence if they want them, which I would assume they would.
Would it
I
be
would if I-
possible since we can't? I mean, we can't think of any teams that need a quarterback.
Chicago.
Yeah,
There's one, yeah.
It's time to move on from Mitchell Trubisky.
Detroit.
And Detroit is not getting rid of Stafford. I hate to say
no,
it.
but how old is he?
He's-
31.
30. He's there for life.
I don't think they'll be that bad.
It's time for Pittsburgh to draft one too, so don't be surprised if they move up and pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not afraid to take a player.
Yeah, they're definitely. Big Ben's definitely getting up there.
But what about if Baker has another bad year? I mean, is it time? You seen how fast they give up on. You seen how fast they give up on Rosen in Arizona. So don't be shocked if Cleveland or Washington gives up on their quarterbacks, because Rosen literally had 8 games behind the worst team in football, and they give up on him.
Without a doubt. So now we're going to jump into the COVID-19 dropouts. Etheridge, do you want to speak on them a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just going to name a few. You know, you got Marquise Gooden from the Eagles. You know, that's what I said. We'd touch on him later. That one was a blow. Devin Funches, newly signed Patriots receiver.
Yeah.
The whole Patriots team just decimated. I mean, gone.
Dante Hightower was the biggest one for them.
And Patrick Chung, C.J. Mosley, Geronimo Allison, Damian Williams was a big one, but they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So, and then you have
let's go open him up.
Then you have Michael Pierce from the newly signed defensive tackle for the Vikings. And there was also over 65 players who dropped out of the season this year.
And I can see where they're coming from, but you know, it's going to be if I'm making this decision now. I have no chance, obviously, playing the NFL. I'm going to play. I would.
If you have underlying health conditions, I get it.
Or family with it.
Yeah, I mean, I get you can be scared and drop out, but I mean, some people just don't want to play for their teams. Like Alan Hearns has no interest in playing for his team.
Him and Albert Wilson, 2 receivers gone from Miami. That would be huge for Tua. I mean, if he starts week 1, I don't know if he's going to start or Fitzpatrick. You know,
it'd be Fitzpatrick. I'd say.
I think so too, but Tua will take over for long.
Yeah, that's right.
So I looked, and I don't think there was one Titan player that. Oh, and most of our fans are going to be Titans fans. So, you know, I saw one lineman. I'd never heard of him before. It was a backup, I guess.
A lot of players are doing that because I think it's like a guaranteed $250,000.
You're getting paid to do it. So I mean, that could be another incentive.
And another reason is if you get cut, your money's not always guaranteed.
Right.
Like someone like Alan Hearns, I doubt his money's guaranteed. Right. I say he gets paid game by game and goes week by week. Like, oh, I might get cut if I don't ball out. So that's one reason. Some people are like that.
Without a doubt. Okay, so we're going to jump into the contract disputes and updates. Have we heard anything on Dalvin Cook?
Last thing I heard from Cook is he's going to play, but he's pissed off.
This is for you fantasy owners. We're going to try to give you a little up-to-date information.
They can't talk contracts until end of season, I don't think.
Yeah, that's kind of rough for the Vikings and the Dalvin Cook fantasy owners.
The good thing about the Vikings is they have Madison, who's really, really good.
Yeah,
Alexander Madison is really talented, and they have Mike Boone, who showed out last year in week 16 and 17.
And then you talk about good backup running back. I'll jump into a new one. How about Alvin Kamara?
As far as I've seen, he's playing, ain't he?
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they said they was getting close to a deal, but I don't even.
And his backup is obviously Latavius Murray, and he had some good days back in Minnesota.
He had some good days last year. Those 3 weeks Kamara was out
Yeah.
in fantasy, he was
I
running
picked him
back
up.
2, running back 3, and running back 5.
Without a doubt. He can do it all. And then we'll jump to 2 that have just signed deals. Obviously, we don't have information on Kamara yet. Joe Mixon just signed an extension for 4 years and $48 million.
Earned every penny.
Agreed.
He sat behind a terrible offensive line and ran his butt off last year.
He could very well be worth more than that, I think.
He's awesome.
Good.
He's awesome.
He's a good ball player.
Another player I want to touch on after you get done is Melvin Ingram on the defensive side. At camp, he is, the new NFLPA rule is if you hold out, you get fined $50,000 a day.
Yeah.
So if you don't show up to practice, it's $50K a day.
That's cool.
Well, Melvin Ingram's been going to practice, but he's not been practicing.
He's not been practicing, right.
He's been sitting on the sidelines because they ain't renewed his contract yet. And the new term is everybody is holding in. Like Joe Mixon, he held in because he said he had migraines.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like,
yeah, okay.
My pinky toe's hurting today. Almost sit out.
You had migraines for 4 days? You might want to get that checked out.
Obviously, I talked about the Ryan Kelly one earlier, 4 years, $50 million, the Colts center. We talked about Tannehill earlier.
This free agency running back class is going to be absolutely stacked.
Who's some of them? Give us a list.
Chris Carson, James Conner, Damian Williams, Marlon Mack, Kareem Hunt, Todd Gurley, Leonard Fournette, Kamara, and Cook are maybes.
Big. It's big. It's a big list. See, and let me ask you guys this. I know you probably tired of talking about the Colts, but do y'all see any way they sign Marlon Mack back unless he has a 1,000-yard season?
No.
I mean,
why?
No, he's gonna want a little bit.
Unless
probably.
Jonathan Taylor's turns out and is awful.
I mean, you spend a second round draft pick on someone, you have to get them in. Yeah. I mean, maybe you bring Mack back for one more year and let him learn some more. Maybe
he's wanting a super max, but he's not going to get that.
He wants a super max?
They're going to have to use it for other people, like down the road, like Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard. And they also have to sign T.Y. Hilton back after this year. So
T.Y.'s probably going to take a team-friendly deal, I'd say.
I think so, too, because he went on record of saying that the ball's in the Colts' court, and whatever deal he signs, this will be his last one. So you Texans fans, if there's any, you only have to deal with him for 3 or 4 more years. And I guess Titans, too. I mean, he's been an assassin of the Titans, too. Okay, so Leonard Fournette also a huge pay cut. Boom. 1 year, $3.5 million.
He still gets that $7 million from Jacksonville, though.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's true.
So he's really making – how much did he get signed by the Jags?
3.5.
So he's making $10.5 million this year.
Which, I mean, if he's worth that, I don't know.
I mean, Jacksonville's paying him $7 million. He's not even playing for him.
What do you think, Tucker? Is he worth that?
Worth what?
That 10.5 that he's going to be getting in total?
On the Buccaneers?
No,
or just like as a player?
Yeah. I
mean, yeah, probably. But the way he's going to be utilized on the Buccaneers, I don't know. Because I don't think they're going to utilize him the way that he was utilized in the past.
This means nothing to real football. But for the fantasy people out there, I don't know if y'all have looked, but in a PPR league, he's projected 3.5 points week 1. I traded him, thank goodness. He was projected 16 to start the season before any of this happened. And I traded him to
the reason that is he's not going to get he's not going to get 30 carries a game now.
Right.
He was averaging 22 carries a game last year, and that's not going to happen in Bruce Arians' system.
No, I agree.
With
the receivers and tight ends they got.
I mean
they're stacked. They might be running as much as Jacksonville obviously would.
Let's see. Let's jump back to the NFL draft a little bit. Let's talk about the Tiger King, the number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow. He obviously went number 1 to the Cincinnati Bengals. Is he going to live up to the hype, in your guys' opinion?
Well, I'll go first.
Yes.
I was a huge hater on him last year at LSU. I thought he's going to be a one-hit wonder, but the more and more I've watched him, he's really talented. He's a freak athlete for what he is. Like you wouldn't expect that boy to be
No.
athletic, but
Agreed.
he's fast. He's got a cannon and he's smart. So I mean, he's got all of it there. But he's in Cincinnati, so that's kind of that's what scares me. It's where quarterbacks go to die. Ask Andy Dalton.
He's got two good backs. I mean, Bernard can catch. That's a little safety blanket. And then he's got A.J. Green. If he plays well, heck, he's a good receiver. And then he's got Tyler Boyd.
John Ross.
But they drafted T. Higgins.
Yeah. T. Higgins, John Ross. Yeah, go ahead, Tucker. You got a pretty interesting take about Joe Burrow.
No, I was just gonna say.
No, go ahead and say what you told me before we got on here.
Honestly, don't remember what I said. It's probably just me rambling, to be honest. But
he said, "I'll go ahead and say it since you forgot." He said that Joe Burrow was the best college football player he's ever seen.
Okay, he's the best college quarterback I've ever seen.
Okay,
personally. He did have a ton of weapons around him. I'll give him that. He had a lot, like, insane amount of weapons.
He did.
More than, I mean, yeah, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, who's a monster, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm missing somebody.
Well, his defense was insane too. So I mean,
the team was just stud, but he's a stud. I can just tell you right now,
Yeah.
and he's gonna live up to the hype without a doubt, in my opinion. And I think the Bengals will be a good spot for him. I mean, they've got some weapons right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he'll definitely live up to the hype. I don't know how quickly that'll happen, but I think it'll happen.
I think where these top two quarterbacks, him and Tua, who went, I think they went into a decent spot. I mean, Miami's not good, Cincinnati's not good, but it could be worse.
Yeah, they're not awful. It could definitely be Jacksonville. He's an absolute stud.
That's one of he's definitely he's got a character about him.
I was a big hater on him, but he's really talented, and I think he's going to be great.
And let me just do a hypothetical here. I mean, we can't really answer for this, but what if the coronavirus was a season ago and he decides to opt out?
Oh,
he goes from a 6th round pick.
Awful.
I mean, he transformed his stock in one season from a 6th round pick to the number 1 overall pick. That's insane.
Well, he's a steal, so I mean, you draft him in the 6th round, franchise quarterback.
That'd be crazy.
Tom Brady all over again.
But who knows if he progresses? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he wouldn't have got that season in LSU under Coach O.
Yeah. Let's see. Now let's do a little bit more of a. Okay. We'll talk about more of a broad topic, and we'll go ahead and me and Etheridge will do our opinions till Tucker gets back. Who do you think was the biggest steal of the draft?
Man, that's a tough one. I can tell you who's not.
I'll give you mine while you think about yours. Mine, I mean, I'm excited for him. I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor. I think he could have easily been a first-round pick.
Should have been. He should have been the first running back off the board.
Without a doubt. He's better than Dobbins and who else? Swift?
Was Dobbins or Swift first off?
I
think it's Dobbins.
I can't think right off.
Because Swift was taken by the Dolphins, and they traded that pick.
That's right.
Before they drafted, and that's when the Packers drafted Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Worst pick I've ever seen in my life.
Yikes! You messed up. You say Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest one, honestly.
And I'm gonna go with the receiver out of South Carolina that Oakland drafted. I'm really big on him. What is his name?
Bryan Edwards.
Bryan Edwards. You know, he would have been a first-round pick if he didn't tear his knee up. So, I mean.
Or you could have been talking about Lynn Bowden because he can play any position on offense. So.
Well, he's from Kentucky, not from South Carolina.
He's right, I know. He's also a steal, too. I mean, because you think – just think what all he can play. He could run the Wildcat at quarterback because he dominated people at Kentucky doing that. I mean, he can play running back. And before he started playing quarterback, he played receiver at Kentucky.
I just Bryan Edwards, you know, I watched his film and and there's another guy. Washington Redskins cut Adrian Peterson today, and they're going to start
Washington football team.
Oh, sorry, that's my fault. Washington football team cut AP today, and now they promoted Antonio Gibson to starting running back, and that kid right there,
he can play.
If that team ever gets an offensive line, my Lord, are they going to be something?
Yeah, Haskins needs more weapons around him. You know,
I agree. You know, who's his number one receiver? Who's his number one receiver?
McLaurin.
That's a good number one.
Yeah, but other than that,
Nothing.
terrible. I mean, that's just how it is.
They tried to get O.J. Howard. It didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and then they lost Jordan Reed. He had a good couple of years, like
He's too
2015 to
hurt.
17, and then
Concussions
in
ruined
and out
his
of
career.
trouble and concussions. Yeah, he's been everywhere.
He lived in the concussion protocol.
Yeah. Let's see. I also think about AJ Epineza too.
Bills, right?
Yeah, I think he was the first pick of the second round. Maybe I feel like he could have been a top.
One of the
15.
top picks. One of the top picks in the second round. Yeah, he was from Iowa. I remember watching him play some last year when we were there pick'ems with cold takes. I'd watch Iowa play all the time.
He's good.
I thought he was a stud.
He's one of the best edge rushers in that draft.
Hey, good spot for him though. Good D line in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, he's going to fit right in.
Yeah, that Buffalo's going to be a good team this year. Let's see. We'll just jump on to our next topic. What team in your opinion had the best draft?
It's down between the Cowboys and the Ravens.
Mine's the Ravens. Nope. And I didn't even take.
And Dobbins. That's
and Devin Duvernay, the receiver.
That's a good
from
one.
Texas, right? I think so. I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah, I do have to think about it because you think of this: the Cowboys went C.D. Lamb and Trayvon Diggs in the first two rounds.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about Trayvon Diggs. That was huge too.
That's pretty solid first two rounds right there.
That is true. I was trying to think of another team that had a good draft. Let's see. I thought the Colts had a good draft.
So I like Pittman.
Not one of the top ones, but a good draft.
I'm real big on Pittman. I think he's going to be a stud.
He's going to be good if he can. He's just physical, so I mean he's going to have to. Obviously, we'll see if that transfers over to the NFL, which is going to be.
He honestly reminds me a lot of Juju. Yeah. So much. They played the same college. They played the same position. Both got the same build.
Yeah.
They just remind a lot of each other.
Tucker, who was you saying had the best draft?
Who had the best draft? I know the Ravens had a good draft. Who was I saying?
Yeah, that's
Cowboys maybe.
Yeah, that's the two that me and Etheridge said. We had not we talked about this. Me and Etheridge hadn't, and me and Tucker had, but we all have a consensus agreement that the Ravens and the Cowboys were the top two. I mean,
Ravens stud.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They should have took Taylor over Dobbins, I think, but that's okay. Dobbins is fast, so I mean it'll be all right.
I'm perfectly fine that they did it. I'd rather have Taylor than Dobbins, in my opinion, but that's a little biasness probably. But
I think Taylor's better than college.
I was honestly surprised whenever the Cowboys took CeeDee Lamb because I was like, they already got
their receiving core. It's a good receiving core.
Imagine being an Eagles fan waiting on CeeDee Lamb to fall 3 picks, and you watch your division rival take.
That would have been big. That would have been big for Philadelphia.
I mean, I think they still got a good wide receiver anyway.
Yeah.
They got a good wide receiver anyway.
Philly got a good receiver.
I like him. He's just got to stay healthy.
Yeah. He can play. So we've done touched on who our teams have drafted. The Colts drafted Taylor and Pittman are the two headliners. The Titans was Christian Fulton, and who was the lineman again?
Isaiah
Wilson from Georgia. That's right. And the Eagles, Jalen Reagor. That was the big one. And Jalen Hurts. Like you said, that was more of an insurance and kind of a pick, And I think he'll play a little bit this year. I think there's
maybe.
No, I'm serious. I'm not saying that because Wentz. I know we joke about Wentz a lot, but I'm being serious.
He's going to be a good quarterback.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
He's going to have to earn his way up. Even Doug Peterson come out and said he's got to do better than he did this training camp.
Even if it's just like for an RPO or something. I mean, what are you going to do with an RPO with him and Miles Sanders? I mean,
it'd be pretty good.
He could play. I mean, he could definitely play this year.
Yeah,
because Wentz is just.
Wentz has his fair share.
Yeah.
Wentz is solid when he's playing.
Very, very good.
And I think hopefully he continues playing. I'm not a hater on Wentz. I just know he's injury prone, honestly.
He gets hurt. He takes too many unnecessary hits that he doesn't need to take.
Yeah.
That's the same thing Michael Vick did, and it's the same thing Wentz does. Too many unnecessary hits.
They're running thin on their O-line, aren't they?
Huh?
They're running thin on their O-line, aren't they?
Yeah, very. Jason Peters, he left in the offseason. We re-signed him. Then our first-round pick from last year, Andre Dillard, went down with an injury. He's out for the year. And then, of course, what's his name? Brandon Brooks got hurt last year in the playoffs. He's out for the year.
Mhm.
And Lane Johnson's a little banged up. So we're running real thin.
Yeah. That's going to be tough.
It will be.
Then I come up with this topic kind of on the fly here. Who's going to make the biggest impact day one out of these rookies?
Out of everybody, or just
You got to say Burrow. I mean, you got to.
yeah.
Probably. I wrote down Burrow and Chase Young, obviously, number 1 and 2.
Oh, my God. Chase Young, I seen a sack he made today. My Lord. He ran through a man that's like 3 times his size, way bigger than him, just pushed him on the ground and killed Dwayne
He's
Haskins.
so strong. I mean, he's
Absolutely murdered him.
It's insane. I think he'll be more, I don't say more productive than Burrow, because, I mean, but I think he's going to be second or third in the.
I mean, Burrow's a quarterback, so he has the ball in his hands.
Right.
So
You're right. Yeah, that was
Burrow. I mean, Tua could make a better and more impact, maybe.
But Tua is not the starter, and they're going to roll with Fitzpatrick for a few weeks.
Yeah. I just don't know if that's the right decision, though.
I think it is. Fitzpatrick played great at the end of the season last year.
If I was a fantasy owner, I'd take Fitzpatrick for the first couple of weeks because he's going to.
I mean, you gotta remember this is a shortened off season, no OTAs, no preseason.
You're right. Yeah,
So,
that is kind of hard for a rookie to come into. You're right.
And Tua is still kind of healing that injury from last year.
Right.
So you don't want to throw him out there to the big guys week 1 and against New England and let him die.
Let's see. And this is just another thing I've come up with. Out of these rookies, obviously, who would you get on your fantasy team? I have one in mind for sure, Burrow. Or Jonathan Taylor.
I'd probably go with Clyde Edwards.
Oh,
I want to go Clyde Edwards.
Yeah, definitely. Clyde's number 1, then I'll say Burrow's 2.
I want to say Taylor.
Go crazy, but I'd probably focus on the running backs that are going to get playing time.
I think Taylor will have a good fantasy year, but I just don't. If you're in a keeper league, I would definitely get Taylor.
100%.
I mean, the wide receivers could be good because last year AJ Brown was good and Terry McLaurin was good.
Yeah,
took him a while, but I mean, receivers are going to take a little bit longer than you like them to.
Yeah. So that's all the NFL we're going to touch on today. By this time next week, we'll have the first game of the season under our belts with the Houston Texans traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs, where they'll be having, I think, a little bit of a ring ceremony again. Not the real one because they did that the other day. And the Chiefs will be having fans in attendance. I'm not sure how many, but it's not very many,
30% capacity, I
something
believe.
like that, yeah. Compared to usual. So I looked at something. I think the spread is already at Kansas City minus 9.5 points.
Woo!
That's a little high for a court like Deshaun Watson on another team,
Deshaun Watson can ball.
He can.
Yep.
No team.
That Kansas City defense ain't that good. I mean, it's okay.
They played good at the end of the year last year.
They did finish up well. I agree. So we're excited for the week one of the season to start up next weekend. Let's see. We're going to jump into the NBA now. Just quickly. Let's see. Steve Nash was just hired as a new coach for the Brooklyn Nets. What do y'all think about that? Genius hire, in my opinion.
I think he's.
It should be
KD, KD and Kyrie. What else is? I mean, what coach do you really need?
Genius.
He's got a lot to deal with.
Yeah,
Kyrie.
You're right. He's going to have to put up with a lot,
but he's already put up with KD. He put up with KD in Golden State, so I think he'll be fine.
I do too. I agree. The rookie of the year was John Morant. Does that come to a surprise to either of you?
No,
it's not a surprise, but I was surprised that Zion got. Did he get third?
Third.
That's ridiculous.
I didn't know that. Who got second?
Kendrick Dunn.
That's ridiculous, without a doubt. You cannot. Zion, first of all, he was the best rookie. I don't care He didn't play that much, but he is the best rookie in the class. Here comes the
Not
haters.
the best rookie.
He is the best rookie in that class, without a doubt. It's not even
And the one thing that did it for Zion was you got to play the whole season.
Well, he was. I mean, he was hurt. You
You
can't.
can't play 25 games and then try to make your case.
That's how
for
good he was, though. He
rookie
could.
of the
I mean,
year.
you could make that case. He was that good, and he's definitely better than Kendrick Nunn. I don't care about not playing the whole season. Forget that.
Well, I mean, Zion didn't even get a vote, so I mean, just let that sink in.
That's crazy. But
I mean, I guess they couldn't get over it that he didn't play the full season. I guess.
it means, and Kendrick Nunn's team's in the playoffs. Morant's was in two games. They had to beat the Trailblazers twice. That has a big deal to do with
I'm
it.
not saying that Kendrick Nunn might not even be the best rookie on his team.
Agreed. Hero is.
I agree with
But
that.
Kendrick
He
Nunn
had
had
a
a
great-
good year.
Yeah, great year though.
He had a good year, but it wasn't as good as
You know,
Zion's.
I really don't know why Kendrick Nunn's up there over Hero.
It's just his points. He's
And
played
Zion,
better.
obviously, but
He's played better than him this year. He really has.
well, I mean, he didn't play a full season. He was a little banged up coming into the bubble, but he didn't play 25 games.
I understand Morant getting it, obviously.
Without a doubt.
He probably should have got it, obviously.
He earned it.
No doubt.
He's not the best rookie, but there's no way Zion should have got third. Like, that's just stupid.
But it's kind of hard.
I thought it was close. I thought it was like this.
How does Zion not make the playoffs with that team, though? Like, how did they not make the playoffs?
Well, he didn't play all season.
Somehow Brandon Ingram got most improved player. How? I mean, Bam
It's kind of tough giving it over Bam. Bam had a really good year.
jumped up 11 points this season. I mean,
Brandon Ingram is definitely the most improved player.
Bam
And
is absolutely putting the clamps on Giannis, too. I mean,
that's right.
right now on this. Oh, my goodness. He bodied him the other night. I mean, he just barreled over him and missed. He missed the dunk, but it was insane.
speaking of the Bucks, they're in trouble.
Yeah, we're going to speak on that here in just a second. I wrote my team down first. Lakers advance convincingly over the Trailblazers after Dame's injuries. They face the Rockets in round 2. Can the Rockets beat the
Sweep.
Lakers?
Sweep.
Rockets beat the Lakers. Not a chance.
I don't think so either. I think it may go to 6, but
No.
it just depends on what
5.
Lakers team you get.
They're
If
going to
it's
win.
The
Who's going
Lakers.
to stop AD?
We could get. I agree that they're small ball and not a good decision. I mean, they don't have no other choice. But
Montrezl Harrell won 6 man of the year.
you could, Montrezl Harrell 6 man of the year. That just came through earlier today. You could find a high school team. Sometimes they could shoot better than the Lakers on some nights. I mean, some of the players on the Lakers are going to have to step up this series. Let's see.
They will. LeBron always gets saved by somebody.
Kyrie, Ray Allen.
There's a bunch.
Keep going. I mean, Dwayne Wade.
Always. Yep. Chris Bosh.
Mike Miller with one shoe. I mean, the Mavericks give the Clippers a good run, or a respectable series. I put. They didn't give them a good run, but a respectable series. And if that series showed us one thing, it's Luka is going to dominate this league for a long time.
The Luka Mavericks.
Mavericks.
It's really what it was. I mean, come on.
Because Porzingis, I mean, he got
hurt.
cheated. He got cheated in game. What was it? 1?
2.
He
I
got
think.
thrown out.
I was good too. I
That
don't know.
was bad. And then, of course, he got hurt, which that put a little damper in the
Dude's
parade
always
for them.
hurt.
Yeah, it's tough. But they got good pieces around them. Jalen Brunson didn't make it to the bubble. He was a good player during the season.
Oh, he didn't make it to the bubble. Really?
Yeah, he wasn't in the bubble. He was sick. Let's see. Who else do we got here? Was the Thunder and the Rockets the best first round series?
No.
It just
No.
ended last
Maybe.
night.
No.
How did that?
In your opinion, what's the
Nuggets and
shot?
Jazz. Nuggets and Jazz, in my opinion.
Nuggets and Jay? Oh, I was getting ready to speak on that one too. What hit the shot? What do you mean? In Game 7?
Who had a game winner last night?
Oh, that was Toronto. This is round 2. We're still in round 1.
Okay, I'm tripping.
So I think that is the best series. But after I agree with what you're. I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I put Jamal Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. That was the title I put for this part.
That's what it was.
That both had coming out parties in the playoffs. I mean, that was an insane performance from both of them. But as always, Kentucky always comes out on top against Louisville players. So
Oh,
I mean, there's nothing new there. They was talking about how they'd played since high school, then they played in college, and pretty sure Kentucky beat them convincingly when he was at UK. Jamal Murray.
Shot the bow and arrow, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he put the blue arrow in the hearts of many teams, except Indiana in the tournament. Man. So now let's jump into the second round. Can anyone cool off the Miami Heat?
Bucks?
And are the Bucks in trouble?
Bucks are in massive trouble.
They're down 0-2 for you all that don't know.
I would love for them to lose because then that means who the Celtics play? They play
The
Rat.
Celtics are playing Toronto right now, yes.
Celtics will beat them, and the Celtics have to face the Heat. I'd rather have them face the Heat than the Bucks.
I'm telling you, the Miami Heat are a better team than the Bucks. A team. Do they have the better player? Not even close. But are they the better team? Yes. No doubt. Especially if you got the 35-year-old Goran Dragic that's playing like he is. Are you kidding me?
And you got that man right there.
Pulling up Jimmy Butler, somebody that I'm not a big fan of. But
Jimmy Butler.
Still in the deal, baby.
But, you know, he can play. We got a special appearance from Tyler.
He can't stop. He has to be somewhere in.
I know. He's got to be in somebody's business every minute. So let's see. So we all agree that the Bucks are in trouble?
They're in, yes.
They're
in the
gonna
hallway.
play. They play tonight again, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they play 5:30. They play in 10 minutes.
Hope they get beat.
Is Boston the best team in the East, and can the Raptors beat them? The Raptors are down
No,
1-2.
Boston's not the best team in the East.
And yes, they're the best team in the East.
Boston is a very good team, but Miami's right there with them. I mean,
they're not. Miami's good. They're not as good as the Celtics.
Miami's bigs are better, and that's what.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes a big difference. But the guard
The
play,
guard play is not as good.
yeah, the guard and wing play, I'll give it to Boston. Which is, I don't know. That'd be a good series. I hope we get to see that series. But
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Me too.
and the last thing we have about the NBA is: are we still trusting the process in Philadelphia?
Yes,
At this point, you have to. You're into the hall.
Not me.
you're in. You got to keep going. You're in deep. There's no way to get out of it at this point.
I mean, they're a good team.
When I look at their team, I'm like, they should be really good, and they just.
But they made the wrong decision firing Brett Brown. I thought he was a good coach.
I mean,
Watching the way he coaches, and I know there's not much coaching in the NBA. The way he coaches and motivates the players, he's one of the best motivators I could see.
You got to remember there was no Ben Simmons in this bubble,
True.
so
True.
that's a big hit.
That's true.
oh shoot, he wasn't there.
No.
So with Ben Simmons, they would have given the Celtics a way better run than they give them.
Yeah. Well, they'd won a game.
Yeah.
I think the Sixers are a good team. I think eventually they'll get it together at some point.
I don't know what else they would
Better
name.
be next year.
I
I don't know either. Good
think it's
question.
about time to be done with Embiid.
He's good.
He's okay, but he needs a super. He's a Robin, and he needs a Batman.
Definitely, I agree. Well, he's got one.
No,
They got two Robins.
They have two Robins on that team.
Yeah. They need a Batman.
Yeah, they need somebody
There's
like
not one.
they need somebody. I know this ain't gonna happen, but Kevin Durant come in or somebody
They
like
need
that.
somebody like Jimmy Butler. Oh wait,
We saw how that worked
what
out.
happened with that?
Kawhi Leonard ended that for them.
What a shot. My God.
that was insane. So that's it for our sports topics for the day. And like we did on the Cold Takes podcast, we'll do a random question, and you guys can participate on Twitter if you want. We'll put a poll on there. We've done this one before, and usually we do our top 3 favorite singers, current singers, but we're going to do top 5 today.
Oh shoot, I ain't got no top 5.
Which one of y'all wants to go
one.
first? Etheridge, do you have yours ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
At 1, I got Luke Combs. I've seen him in concert. He's great. And at 2, I got Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
But I could easily slide Cody Johnson in number 2. Easily.
I think our top 3 are gonna be the same.
At
Gosh.
3, I've got another toss up here. I got Riley Green at 3.
Oh,
But I
wow.
could easily,
I forgot
could
about Riley
easily-
Green.
I could easily slide him to 2 or 4. You know what I'm saying? He could go 2 or 4.
Yeah,
At 4, I got Cody Johnson.
taking him out on mine.
At 5, I got Tyler Childers. And at 6, I got Hardy.
Listen, we got the same 5. Let me look. I might pick somebody else, but that might be my exact 5 in a different order. But
Well, I have
Definitely
two.
the same
I have
five.
2 different from y'all, and I don't know if you would count Jason Aldean today, but you hear stuff on the radio all the time. That's all I listen to is radio. I don't listen to my aux or anything like that. So I have Jason Aldean as my 5th on here.
saw it.
4th, I forgot all about Riley Green. I put him in as my 4th. I forgot all about him. Number 3, Dustin Lynch. Number 2, Luke Combs. Number 1, Morgan Wallen. I think other than those first 2, Dustin Lynch is the next best one.
Morgan Wallen's last song threw him down a loophole for me.
I like it.
It was good when it
no,
was
7 Summers is good.
It was good when his
I agree. It was better when it was.
Yeah.
Acoustic was way better, but now, I mean, that song, that's probably my least favorite Morgan Wallen song.
Oh, I like it.
Oh no, it's still good.
Yeah, I agree. I like it.
Can't beat Cover Me Up.
That's a good one too.
It's a good song. Anything he has is good.
Yeah.
But me and Etheridge have the same 5.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say my 5 is Riley Green's 5. 4 is Childers. 3 is Cody Johnson. 2 is Luke Combs, and 1's Morgan Wallen.
I cannot stand Tyler Childers.
He's so good.
Really?
I could go out here and stab my cat 14 times with a fork, and it would sound just like him.
You're a hater.
He don't have a bad song.
I like him.
I can't stand when he gets to like wailing like he does, stuff like that. No,
It's what makes him sound good.
it's like I just don't like.
I agree. He's just different.
He is different. I agree, but I don't think in a good
He's
way.
good.
But
nobody's as good as Morgan Wallen.
No,
God.
I don't think so either.
Luke Combs is better.
Luke Combs is good too. Very good.
I seen Morgan Wallen
He's
in concert.
close.
He was really good.
It's them 2 and everybody else.
And
I agree.
there's another one I put on here. I seen him in
Cody
concert. Number 7 for me would be Jamison Rogers. I don't know if y'all
Not
ever
for
listened.
me.
Dailey's not in on that one.
Gosh, I mean, let's put Trey Eisenberg on here. Nick Jamerson, are you kidding me?
I didn't say
Trey
Nick
Eisenberg?
Jamerson. I
I
said
know,
Jamison
but
Rogers.
that's what he would say.
Nick Jamerson's
Him and
terrible.
Jameson Rogers, no.
Y'all are
Not me.
haters.
Not me.
I think you're replacing Jamison Rogers with somebody else.
No, I just don't like him. I've listened to 3, 4 of his songs. I haven't got into any of them. Kind of like with Hardy. I haven't listened to many of his songs.
Hardy's so
Hardy's
good.
all right.
I like maybe one of his songs.
Like Morgan Wallen. He writes Morgan Wallen songs.
Well, I agree.
I know.
I mean, he's a good songwriter, no doubt.
He literally wrote almost every song but 7 Summers. That's the only one he didn't write. And look how bad that song turned out.
No, it's one of his best.
Okay, that's always good. I
It's
agree.
good.
Top
It's good,
5.
but in my opinion, it's his worst song. He don't have a bad song.
But and that's saying a lot too because of all the good songs that he has.
He don't have a bad song.
He just needs to drop another album because I know it's all gonna be good.
Yeah. He posted on his Instagram story. He said, "Guess where?" And it looked like he was in the studio. So maybe he's working on something.
Good.
Um.
Hopefully.
So I guess that's going to wrap it up for this first episode. Like I said, our next episode, or this episode will drop tomorrow morning. We're recording this on Friday. It'll drop tomorrow morning sometime, and we hope you enjoy it. Our next episode will be touching on the first week of the NFL season. We'll be once again talking about the NBA playoffs, what's going on with all that. Maybe we'll know more about the contract disputes, things like that. We'll give our predictions, some of our predictions for week 1 on the big games, our teams, and we'll do division winners. It'll be a pretty fun episode. I'm looking forward to it. And I believe that's all we got for.
Wait a minute.
What?
I want to share something before we get off here.
Oh, here he goes.
Oh
Share
yeah,
his
shoot,
screen
I
again.
can do some too.
Just a little something. My favorite athlete right there.
Coming soon.
I gotta shout
Look at
somebody
the
out
two
real quick.
brothers on there, Foles and Wentz. What a time that was.
What a great year.
What a time!
What a time to be
But,
an Eagles fan.
I'm gonna shout somebody out.
All right.
He told me to shout him out, and it's Clayton Biggerstaff. He's singing. He sings now. Plays guitar and sings now, and he's pretty good. If you want to go listen to him on Instagram, he's his name is jcash.1.1. Don't know if you'll remember that, but
Jcash.
he's pretty good.
1.1.
Right there. He told me to shout him out, so I told him I would, and he said go listen to his music. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, we're always into shouting people out. Just DM us on Twitter or whatever. Like I said, we'll put this up as a poll, and we'll see how much participation we get for it is on country music singers. Or we can put our top 5 and vote to see who you think's number 1. We may do that.
It's going to be more than one.
And if you guys got any, like Etheridge put on Twitter earlier, if you guys got any suggestions, just let us know because we're always down for that.
Any constructive criticism is good too.
Yep.
Anything we can do better on.
Yep.
I'm not saying go bash us or
Yeah,
anything.
be nice about it.
Just like DM us and be like, hey, you could do
Yeah,
that.
don't make
You
like
could do
a
that
burner
better.
account, like a Tyler Etheridge burner account, and like you know.
Murder it.
But yeah, and down the road sometime we've talked about this earlier. We know this is just our first episode, but if this keeps on, if we keep doing this and it keeps going well, we'll maybe do a YouTube live or something and take questions from you guys, and every once in a while we'll have a guest on here. So if you'd be interested in that, just let us know. I know we had a few on the cold takes that wanted to be on, so like I said, just DM us. What's our Twitter handle, Tucker?
It's at Good Morning Tville.
Good Morning Tville. Good Morning Tville. So follow us on there if you haven't already, and we'll be giving you some content. Hopefully good content down the road a little bit. So that's it for Tyler Etheridge and Tucker Glass. I'm Dailey G. Good morning, Tompkinsville.